Welcome to World Wars 101. Today's presentation is titled Shut Down by LAPD When Whistleblowers Are Silenced. This is a true story of how four officers tried to report criminal misconduct and how the system fought to suppress the truth at every turn. Formal complaint filed. On September 7th, 2022, four officers from the Los Angeles Airport Police Department filed a formal written complaint. We reported fraudulent COVID-19 documents, due process violations, whistleblower retaliations. All four of us signed the complaint. It was credible, clear, and based on hard evidence. Chief Rhambo refuses to investigate. Instead of investigating, Chief Cecil Rhambo Jr. reclassified our complaint as an EEO issue, avoiding the criminal implications altogether. He refused to meet with us, refused to investigate, and buried the complaint through internal rerouting. It was a strategic move to protect the department, not the public. May 31st, 2023, report taken to LAPD Wilshire Division. With no response from the Los Angeles World Airports, Officer David Rogers took the case to LAPD Wilshire Division on May 31st, 2023. He met with Officer Abigail Nunez, who began taking the report. Everything was going properly until Rogers began explaining the details. Detective Alex Jacinto cuts off the report. While Rogers was giving his narrative, Detective Alex Jacinto interrupted the report. Without hearing the full context or reviewing any of the evidence, Jacinto labeled it as a civil matter and refused to continue. He blocked the remaining narrative and declined to accept the documents. The report was technically taken, but the truth was shut down. Listen carefully to what happens next. What you are about to hear is exactly what happened. Rogers started explaining the misconduct. Nunez is recording it. Then Jacinto enters, cuts it short, and refuses to proceed. This is how LAPD Wilshire Division handled a criminal complaint from one of its own. Live audio, May 31st, 2023. Here's the 25-minute audio recording from LAPD Wilshire Division. This is real. This is unedited. Let's go to the tape.
Read it to you.
Okay.
My name is David Rogers. I am off duty. I am currently employed with the City of Los Angeles, and I'm assigned to Los Angeles World Airports Police. And here I am with Officer Nunez with LAPD, and this is the Wilshire Division. And we are now, I am submitting a crime report. So just so I can give you I'm gonna just read it. It's just a few. I know it seems like a lot. It's just a few pages, but
Okay.
The other pages are affidavits and declarations for myself and the other officer. Crime report for violations of California Penal Code 115 and 524, fraud and extortion, and supporting declaration of Officer Rodney Ruzan and David Rogers. Officer Rodney Ruzan is the other officer.
Okay.
The incident, obviously fraud and extortion, the date and time occurred from June 7th, 2022 to present.
June 7th?
2022 to present.
Okay.
And the location was at Los Angeles World Airports. I also have the complaint information, and that's myself and Officer Rodney Ruzan.
You said Los Angeles World
Airports, LAWA, but that's the correct term for LAX.
Okay.
The victim information, myself is a victim of this, as well as Officer Rodney Ruzan.
Okay.
Suspect number one, her name is Minerva Gutierrez. It's spelled Minerva, and then Gutierrez is Gutierrez. And she is Los Angeles World Airports Human Resources Director. And you, like I said, this copy is for you. And also, if I can have your email, I'll be happy to send you a PDF copy of it as well.
Okay. Human Resources, right?
Director of Human Resources, correct. Suspect two. His name, Chief Cecil Rhambo. It is spelled Cecil. Last of Rhambo Jr. He is the Chief of Police for Los Angeles World Airport Police. Suspect 3, Natalie Rivera. She is the Airport Labor Relations Advocate.
If that's all on there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, you brought it up. Okay, okay, gotcha. You got it.
This is
Detailed.
going to have everything you need.
Okay.
Suspect 4, David Borroway. He is the Los Angeles World Airport's EEOC Special Investigator 2. Suspect 5, Dana Brown. She is the City of Los Angeles Personnel Director. She is the top lady and the personnel director for the city. And suspect 6 are unknown, those 1 through 10, because there's more people involved, but we don't know the extent of who else is involved. This is just the individuals that we've dealt with regarding this matter.
Okay.
Witness statements. Witness statements have been recorded in individual reports that is contained in here. Description of events. On June 7th, 2022, at approximately 17:20 hours, Officer Rodney Rouzan arrived at Van Nuys Airport Police Station for the start of his shift. His supervisor, Sergeant Barron, presented him with a memorandum drafted by Minerva Gutierrez on June 3rd, 2022, titled Placement Off Duty for Non-Compliance with the City's Mandatory COVID-19 Testing Requirements. The memorandum stated that Officer Rouzan was being placed off duty for non-compliance with the city's mandatory COVID-19 testing requirements. Officer Rouzan believed the memorandum to be illegal as it violated California Government Code 3304B, which states, no punitive action or denial of promotion shall be undertaken against a public safety officer without providing an opportunity for administrative appeal. Officer Rouzan had not been given an administrative appeal and no investigation had been conducted regarding the alleged non-compliance. On June 22nd, 2022, Officer Rouzan sent a memorandum to Gutierrez titled Request for City's Mandatory COVID-19 Testing Requirements, expressing his concerns. In response, Gutierrez provided 2 documents that appear to be false. Document number 1 that appears to be false. Title, COVID-19 Vaccination Requirement Exemption Request Procedures. Content. This document falsely states that the city had adopted the COVID-19 vaccination requirement, which had never been adopted or approved. This act constitutes a violation of Penal Code 115. Document number 2 that appears to be false. Title, Notice of Mandatory COVID-19 Vaccination Policy Requirements while awaiting an exemption appeal determination. Content, this document outlines the requirements for employees who are awaiting an exemption or appeal determination. It includes false information about testing procedures, reimbursement, and testing on own time. The document attempts to extort money from employees, which may be a violation of Penal Code 524. Both of these documents that appear to be false were presented by Minerva Gutierrez on June 22nd, 2022, and appear to be unofficial. They lack the necessary signatures from the mayor, city council, or the city clerk's office, further supporting the violation of Penal Code 115. On August 25th, 2022, Officer Rouzan reported the documents that appear to be false to EEOC Special Investigator 2, David Borroway. However, Borroway failed and refused to investigate the crime of Penal Code 115 and instead initiated a psychological investigation into Rouzan for his claims. This action appears to be a violation of Labor Code 1102.5 and an attempt to silence Rouzan. Evidence, and the evidence is included with this document. I know it seems like a lot. I don't know if you did a religious exemption or a medical exemption, but if you did, these are the documents that were presented outside of the ordinance. So evidence 1, memorandum titled Placement Off Duty for Non-Compliance with the City's Mandatory COVID-19 Testing Requirements. Evidence number 2, memorandum titled Request for City's mandatory COVID-19 testing requirements. Evidence document number 3, document that appears to be false titled COVID-19 Vaccination Requirement Exemption Request Procedures. Number 4, document that appears to be false titled Notice of Mandatory COVID-19 Vaccination Policy Requirements while awaiting an exemption appeal determination. 5, email correspondence and other relevant documentation related to the documents that appear to be false. Investigative actions. Public records requests submitted to the Los Angeles City Clerk for certified, signed, and approved copies of the documents that appear to be false. 2, comprehensive correspondence with the Los Angeles City Clerk confirming the non-existence of the documents that appear to be false in their possession. 3, communications with Personnel Director Dana Brown regarding the documents that appear to be false and their authenticity. 5, grievance hearing with LAPD Chief Cecil Rhambo Jr. on December 19, 2022. Conclusion. Based on the evidence and testimonies collected, it is evident that Minerva Gutierrez, Los Angeles World Airport's Human Resources Director, produced 2 documents that appear to be false that violated Penal Code 115 and potentially Penal Code 524. These documents were used to enforce non-compliance actions against Officer Rodney Rouzan and potentially other employees. The document that appears to be false were not officially adopted, approved, or attached to Ordinance 187134. That is the ordinance that the city came forth with regarding vaccination and all city employees being vaccinated. Further investigation is required to ascertain the extent of involvement of Chief Cecil Rhambo Jr., Natalie Rivera, David Barway, Dana Brown, and Does 1 through 10 in the production, dissemination, or enforcement of the documents that appear to be false. They may have played a role in a violation of Penal Code 115 and potentially other related offenses. Please take appropriate action against the suspects identified in the report and conduct thorough investigation into the violations of Penal Code 115 and any other relevant laws. If necessary, additional charges such as those under Penal Code 524 may be applicable. Please provide updates on the progress of the investigation and inform me of further actions or information required. And as you can see, that's my signature, that's my position. This is the other officer, Rodney Rouzan, in his position.
But he was the one that received the letter?
He was the one that received the letter.
Okay, how did you come into play?
I'm going to get that for
Okay.
you. Declaration of Officer David Rogers in support of crime report for violation of California Penal Code 115 and 524, fraud and extortion. I, Officer David Rogers, declare as follows. I am currently employed as a law enforcement officer with the Los Angeles Airport Police. I have been serving in this capacity for 14 years. I am familiar with the facts and circumstances surrounding the incident related to the violation of Penal Code 115 and Penal Code 524, as described in this declaration. Attached herewith, Exhibit A is a copy of a public records request that I submitted to the Los Angeles City Clerk. This request was made to obtain certified, signed, and approved copies of the documents that appear to be falsely presented by Minerva Gutierrez. I sought to authenticate the document and verify their status with the city. Attached herewith as Exhibit B is correspondence between myself and the Los Angeles City Clerk. This correspondence confirms that the document that appear to be false in question do not exist in their possession. The city clerk has stated that they are not in possession of any documents or information related to the documents that appear to be false presented by Minerva Gutierrez. I, along with Officer Rodney Rouzan, participated in a grievance hearing with LAX Police Chief Cecil Rhambo Jr. on December 19, 2022. During the hearing, Chief Rhambo Jr. acknowledged that the documents that appear to be false came from the city. His statement further supports the notion that the documents were not officially adopted or approved. I declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California that the foregoing is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. executed May 31st, 2023. I signed this document here. So all those documents that I mentioned in question, I myself went to the city clerk's office. They don't exist. Anytime you have, go ahead.
Because I know you mentioned the other officer,
Yes.
right? But you weren't named in those documents, right?
No one's named in those documents.
Okay.
These are the documents that individuals had to abide by once the ordinance came out.
Okay.
But these documents did not come from the city. That's the issue. You have to understand the city charter to understand the process of how documents come to the masses. It has to be approved by the mayor, city council, and the city attorney has to approve it to
Right,
form in
right.
legality.
Right.
That's why all these documents are unsigned and unauthored.
Okay.
Not to mention the documents conflict with the ordinance itself, as well as violate state law. So this is Exhibit A.
So we're not gonna go through all the.
No,
We're gonna take the report, but we're not gonna go through the whole book.
I'm not going
Okay.
through the, I'm not.
I think all we need to get is we got your information, we'll document that, and just a quick synopsis of what you're alleging. That
Right.
the city, I guess, gave you guys documents, and then we'll refer to the book, but we're not gonna go through the whole book.
Okay, I didn't plan on going through the whole
No,
book.
I think we have enough, and it's gonna be,
Please,
those are all gonna be
Please,
exhibits.
with all due respect, allow me to continue. I'm not gonna go through the book. I'm reporting a felony. And
And we have enough from what you said right now, we
Okay.
just read off. I think we're gonna have that you're saying that the city did this,
Okay.
and we need dates. I think,
Is it possible if I can have both of your emails so I can send this a PDF copy to both of you guys?
we're not even gonna be handling this, so
I
I don't need it.
I
We're gonna
understand.
take this, or make copies of it.
I understand.
You already have my email, you know how our email works, my serial number's on there,
Okay.
and then you're gonna have our email here, but like I said, we're not gonna be doing the investigation on this.
Correct, but I still would like to, you guys are a point of contact right now, and I would like to make sure that you guys have a PDF copy of this
I don't
on
need
your
a
email.
PDF copy. The only people that are gonna need it is the IO, whoever handles the case.
Do you have that email of that IO that's gonna
I do
handle the
not.
case?
That's something that you're gonna have to follow. That's why I said it's gonna be handled somewhere else. It
Right.
could be handled more than likely either Pacific or commercial crimes.
So as of right now, are you not allowing me to finish? I'm not.
I think we have enough, sir. We have enough. We don't,
And why do you believe we have enough?
because you're alleged, what you read off, saying that the city provided, you said, documents that weren't sealed, or you said there were fraud documents, right?
Yes.
That's all we need for the MO.
But
That's all we need, sir. That's all we need. With all due respect, that's all we need. Can't be on this the whole night. You feel me?
Well, I was here for an hour before we even got
A
back
lot
here.
of people were back here, sir.
There were, while I was standing, she was not working with anybody. There was other
Right.
individuals, the other gentleman there completed. I waited patiently, and you saying not all night. I stood
No,
patiently,
I get it.
and
but-
I want to continue to report this felony
And we
that's
have
been
it,
committed.
we have what you're saying, but, it's either, just give us the elements of the crimes. We're not gonna go through the whole
Let me ask you
book.
this. What authority do you have to allow a person reporting felonies to not complete?
We have it, we have it.
But I'm explaining the evidence.
I get it, and the evidence gets turned into the DA's office or the city attorney's office.
Okay.
You take reports all the time.
Will I be able to have an incident number for
Yes.
the
We'll
report?
yes.
As well as a DR
Correct.
number for this?
If we have a records clerk, we'll get your DR number.
Okay, and if the record clerk isn't there, there should be a log that has DR numbers where
A
you
manual
guys.
DR?
Yes.
No, actually, we actually call another division to get your DR
Okay.
number, so we'll try to do that as well.
Okay, all right.
Yes. So-
So at this point.
Now, this one you're gonna give us?
I'm
Or you want me to
gonna
make a
give-
copy of
I'm
it?
gonna give you this whole, you guys can have this.
Okay, and like I said, that's gonna have to be taken to whatever division handles.
That's fine, but I would also like.
I would also, just
Okay,
hear me out, if you wanna, hold on to this,
I don't need,
I'm just saying, cause the IO is gonna call you, somebody's gonna call you, whoever handling the case, then it's better if you talk to them and you just give it to them.
okay.
I don't want to get lost in
Is there an email so that it doesn't get lost? That's why I wanna make sure I send a PDF copy.
I don't know who's gonna handle the case, sir.
Right.
Like I said, this.
Correct.
Just let me be
So-
honest with you, this, just like with us, it sounds more like a civil matter between the city. Okay, hold on.
You understand this is being recorded.
I understand it's being recorded, and that's what I'm explaining to you.
This is not a civil matter when the felony is being committed.
I understand you're alleging a felony. I don't know what documents are in the city. I don't know. I'm not there. I don't have the paperwork in front of me. I don't know what went through here, through there, or where it went. I'm just saying, in my opinion, it sounds like a civil matter. You filed your grievances. That's what we do in our department. File a grievance, and you want a report. Like I tell you, we'll take a report for you. I don't know where it's gonna go. Who's gonna handle?
Are you familiar with Penal Code 115?
I read it. I'm not an expert. But
Okay.
that's what we're taking this report. You're alleging that a crime occurred
Right.
of fraudulent documents. So that's what we're gonna take the report.
Is it possible so that this doesn't get lost, that is there someone's email that I can send a PDF copy, therefore you can refer it to whatever person you need to refer it to, but I want to make sure.
I just explained my business card is my email. You have my serial number. All you gotta add is at LAPD.online. You have my serial number.
Is this your current address?
My address, my personal residence redacted, and use my station address for
Okay.
this.
That's cool. Yeah.
What is it?
9160 South Loyola Boulevard.
9160 South
South
Loyola.
Loyola Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90045.
How do you spell Loyola?
LOYOLA.
Yes.
LA Boulevard.
That's the LAX.
That's the LX station, correct.
Yeah, that's what we do.
What's the zip?
90045.
90045.
RD 1494.
This is where it happened.
You have that business card?
Oh,
Oh, right, my actual whole email. You know how our email works?
Ours is a little different
Okay.
from yours.
Okay.
And then once I leave here, I'll send you the PDF copy to your email, and you can do whatever you need to do. But that's just reassurance, just in case you guys lose.
Yeah.
these
Well, if you're gonna
documents.
PDF it to me, then you can just keep that.
No, I would like to hand this to you guys as evidence.
And what is your email address?
My email address within these documents as well.
Okay, perfect. And you're still employed with the airport?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay, so they started on June 7, 2022 to the present, and right?
That is when the documents were presented by a high-ranking city employee.
Okay.
But these documents were presented to every city employee that submitted a religious or medical exemption.
Okay.
There's also, I'm sure, I just don't have the facts regarding that, but there's also, I'm sure, terminations that took place for non-compliance of these documents that don't exist.
Okay. Alright, so the non-compliance. Okay. So I'm gonna have you sign here. I'm gonna get you an instant number. It's gonna be the same one on that business card that I provided.
Yeah.
Right here. And I'll be right with you. Here you go. Be right back, okay? You have any instant numbers?
How long do you think it's gonna be before the DR number comes into place?
I don't even know if we have records. She still has to write the report. So just complete the report, and then they get it signed by the watch. You know how it is. Get the watchman to sign it, then get a DR.
Right.
Manuals are only like last resort. You know, we have evidence and there's no records, and we can't get a hold of another outside division.
What time do you think the report will? Because if I need to come back here, I will tonight. This is a major issue.
It is. We're both police officers. You know, our officers dealt with it. You know, with agreements or attorneys. You know, that's the way we handle it here.
Right.
You know, I get it. You want a police report, and we'll take it. You know.
Okay. Well, but see, this is not the first step we've done. Like I said,
No, I get you.
we have, and people were retaliated for whistleblowing, and that's why this is a major issue at this point. They are going through great measures to not have this come out.
You It's tough on some people, you know. So,
Yeah.
we lost some good people too, you know. They,
Well, the thing is, most people, when they receive these documents, they did probably what you just signed. You know, I don't want to deal with it. Let me just sign. I decided to read city charter and get an understanding of what authority they have to produce documents that are unsigned, unauthored. You've been here, I don't know how many years, but when have you received a document that was unsigned, unauthored from the city?
24.
It,
I'm gonna give you the receipt of the report,
okay.
but you want a business card as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you can provide your email as well on there, and I'll send you a PDF copy as well.
Okay.
Would I be able, instead of me waiting around, is it possible if I give you my contact number and you can call me once you have the DR number?
I can call you.
Okay. And I'll be up tonight, so. And then also, would I be able to get the number of your body cam so that I can do a public records request for the body cam?
That's up to Discovery, the whole body cam.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all stored, you know how it is. You know,
Yeah.
uploads.
There you go. So, it would be the same as, you see the 42861 at LAPD.
So just don't put your first name, just the number?
Right.
Okay.
This is it.
All right.
Here you go.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
And at this time, we're going to end this conversation. Thank you for your time and attention in this matter.
After the report, they buried it. After that, Wilshire Division refused to investigate. They passed the case off to LAPD Pacific Division, where it sat untouched for over 18 months. No follow-up, no inquiry, nothing. Only when we began pressing for updates did Pacific Division move. In January 2025, they forwarded the case to Assistant District Attorney Bijan E. Dodd, California Bar Number 191612, and as of today, it is currently sitting on his desk. This is just the beginning. This is part one of a three-part series here on World Wars 101. Part one, the LAPD shutdown. Part two will be the 18-month cover-up. Part three, the case reached the DA's office. They tried to shut this down at every level, but we preserved everything. The timeline, the evidence, the audio. Now we're sharing it with the public. Like, comment, and subscribe to World Wars 101. You won't want to miss what's coming next.
Words in papers, words in books, words on TV, words for books, words of comfort, words of ease, words to make the fighting cease. Eat your words, but don't go hungry. Words have always nearly hung me. Words are stupid, words are fun. Words can put you on the run. Concrete words, abstract words, words to tell you what to do. Words can put you on the run.